Hey guys, welcome back to 610 Bricks. In today's video, you guessed it, we're going to be taking a look at these Lego minifigures from Disney 100, and there's 18 of them to collect. I have a ton to open, and I hope I get all 18, so without waiting anymore, let's get into it. So we're going to cut this first one open and see what we have inside of here. And the first one up, we have Robin Hood here, and it has Disney 100 actually printed on these base plates, and I wonder if they're all like this. As you can see, he has some really nice printing on the front, and he has these dual molded arms and also these dual molded legs as well. As we move around to the back, he has this tail section that goes in between the body and the legs. And then on the face here, he has some really cool printing with this hat on top, and then it has a removable feather, and then he also comes with this bow and arrow. Inside the bag, you're going to find a few extras as well, so you get an extra tail section, and then you get two more of those feathers just in case you lose one for the hat. So we're going to grab another one here, cut it open, and see what we have inside. Or maybe not. I mean, this one's kind of a pain. Oh, that's because it's in a little bit of a bag here. The second one that we pulled is the Wizard Mickey, and this one was actually a little hard to feel in the bag. I thought it was going to be a little bit easier, but since Mickey is in a interior bag as well, it's kind of hard to feel his pieces. And I thought this broom was one piece, so I was really trying to feel for the bristles and the handle itself. But the handle is actually outside of the bag, so that's going to be a good one to feel. And then you can also feel for the round bucket as well. So all of these Disney 100 plates so far have been printed with Disney 100 on the front. So I'm wondering if the rest of them are like that. Probably. But you can see that he has some really cool printing all the way from the front to the back. And he has these stars that kind of disappear, but as the light hits it, it reflects. And that is something that Lego has been doing a lot more of lately on their printing on the minifigures. Overall, I think this is a great figure. So moving on to the next one here, this is going to be our third one. Let's cut it open and see what we have. I had some pieces at the top here, so I don't want to cut in anything, especially if it's a cape. So I wanted to move it down a little bit. And here we go. So our third figure here is Oswald, and I'll tell you what, this is like one of the original Disney cartoons, and he's pretty creepy. And I know he's supposed to be black and white, so he's mostly black and white, but he has these blue shorts on him as well. And then you can also see that he comes with this printed tile that has Oswald, and then it's Act 2, Take 1. But other than that, I mean, the blue shorts wrap around to the back side. You can see he has a little tail section on him as well that's printed on. But pretty plain minifigure, but kind of cool because this was actually Walt Disney's first ever cartoon. So he's a great addition, and he deserves to be in the Disney 100 lineup. So moving on to the fourth figure here, we're going to grab it and see what we have inside. He's pretty cool. He has this red sweatshirt with the blue legs, and then he has this nice print on his face here. And I thought this was a misprint, the little freckle that's on there, but I guess that's supposed to be on there because it got a couple people. So on the back side here, he does have a dual printed face, and you can see the freckle is really close to the mouth. So I think that's what really confused people there, and they thought it was a misprint definitely on the back side of the head. He has this nice hairpiece that goes on, and this figure is actually really stacked. So not only do you have him this way, you can also take the head off here, and then you could put on like this really cool like Day of the Dead head here. So he has like this painted face on the front, and then he also has one on the back as well, so it's more like a skeleton look. And then he also comes with this red hood instead of the hairpiece that you could put on him. So you can have it either way, but I think he looks really cool. He also came equipped with this cool dog as well. So he has a little dog sidekick that goes with him, and then also this guitar. So these are some really good feel points here. You can feel for this guitar, or you can feel for this dog, and it's kind of a dead giveaway. He also has two head sections as well, so that's also another really good feel point for this figure. So moving on to the next one here, so far we have no duplicates, and we're 4 in, so we're doing a pretty good job of making sure that we don't have any dupes. We're going to cut this one open and see what we have. So then we have this guy here, and a really good feel point is for these really thick arms that he has here. So as we move to the side, you can see he has these really thick arms with some printing on here. And then he also has these end caps on this contraption that he's riding on. This has some printing on each side, but it also comes with 2 as well. If you don't want the printing, you can put the plain ones on there as well if you want to. So overall, he's a pretty plain figure, mostly white with a little bit of printing, but I think he really looks good and he looks like the Disney character that he's supposed to be modeled after. So moving on to the next one here, we're going to see what we have inside. And this one sounds like it has a lot, so I'm wondering if it's another Manny. I really kind of hope not, because I really didn't want any duplicates. Oh man, and it's actually him again. So we're going to push him aside and move on to the next one. All right. And for our 6th figure, we actually have Stitch, and Stitch is awesome. He has 4 arms, so as we turn to the side here, you can see he actually has 4 arms, so that's a really good feel point. Another really good feel point is for the ears here, and you feel the head, so you can feel how it kind of is like a U-shaped, so that's a really good feel point for Stitch. This one is probably my favorite. He comes equipped with these 2 blasters, has a ton of print on the front. The face really looks like Stitch. This thing is awesome. And then moving to the back, he also has some really cool printing on the back as well. He does have short legs, so the legs are not movable, but Stitch is really small, so it makes a lot of sense. This one here was probably my most anticipated one out of the whole bunch, and if I wasn't able to get any of the other ones, this probably would have been the one of the ones that I would have looked for, or even just paid somebody for instead of buying the entire set. But like I said earlier, the more I looked at these things, the more they grew on me, and the more I actually wanted to collect all 18. So moving on to the next one here, let's cut this one open, and this one is also in a bag, so I'm wondering if I got another Mickey. And Jiminy Crickets, check this thing out. This guy's pretty cool. I really like the green head on here. The coloring is very nice. He has this really nice top hat piece as well that's dual molded, and then he has this umbrella, so that's a really good feel point. Also, this top hat is perfect for feeling. Now, there is 2 characters with top hats, so you have to be careful, but this guy has the short legs, and the other character, I believe, has the full legs that are bendable, so you might be able to tell them apart that way. Another giveaway as well is he is actually also in a bag inside the bag, so as we move on and we find the other figures, I'll let you know if the other guy with the top hat is in a bag, because if he's not, that's also a really good feel point for you guys. So check out the printing on the front here, the face. Overall, I think he's pretty great. And then as we move along to the back, you have one of my fingerprints on the back, but then you also have these 2 like greenish gold buttons on the back of the coat. I think this is a great figure, and we're going to move on to the next one here. So this one here is also in a bag, so I'm wondering how many of these characters are in a bag, or if we're about to get another dupe. And here we have Simba from The Lion King. No, I'm just kidding. We have Prince John here, and he is also from the Robin Hood, so he goes alongside Robin Hood here that we opened up earlier, and I think both of these figures are great. I mean, this guy is really cool, and he has a ton of detail. On the front, he has a bunch of printing. He comes with 2 of these gold coins, and then he also comes with this burlap sack, so he can collect his taxes. So as we move around and look, the crown is actually molded onto his head, which I think is really neat. And then the face printing is phenomenal. You can see the hair hanging down, and then he also comes with this little cape that you can put on him. It's not really a cape, but I forget the actual term for this, but it's a really nice addition. And then you can see on the back, he also has some of this printing. Now, I don't know if when I open this, I actually cut through this. I don't think it's supposed to have this slit, but it's pretty clean, so I don't think I did that with the scissor. I think it's actually supposed to be like this, so it can sit down flat on him. Now, it is a little bit hard to get it flat, so it looks a little bit strange, but overall, I think he's a great figure. So we're going to move on to the next one and see what we have. And then also for him on the field guide, he's also in a bag as well. So, you want to be careful when you're opening them up or when you're feeling around, because a lot of these characters are actually on inner bags. So far we have 3, so that's something to keep in mind when you're feeling through. So let's open this one up and see what we have. We're going to try to stay near the top so we don't damage anything. So inside this bag, we have this really ugly lady, and this is actually the Queen of Hearts. So you can see the front of her face here. It looks like she's like screaming because that's her tongue there. I thought it was her lips at first, but the more that I look at it, I'm like, oh, okay, that's her tongue. And then since I didn't put her hairpiece on, you turn around and she also has this like super conniving look. And that's why I think this lady is super grumpy. And I mean, that face there, that just screams ugly. So then we're going to grab the hairpiece here and put it on. And yeah, it doesn't get any better. I mean, she's still just pretty ugly. I mean, it's a great figure, but man, they really captured that this lady is super mean. So she does come with this little heart piece here, and then you also have enough extra to make another one if you would like. So she also comes in a bag as well, but feeling this bottom section, this dress section, is one piece. So if I pop her off here, you can see it's one solid section. So this is a real easy figure to find if you're on the hunt and looking for her. Just feel for that base piece, and you really can't miss it because she's the only one that has it. So moving on to the next one here, let's open it up and see what we have. All right, so it looks like we have the other guy with the top hat. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff in this bag, so you have to be careful because there's some small pieces. All right, so let's get a good look at this guy. And like I said, all the Disney 100 base plates are printed, but you can see some of the really cool print here. He has his actual belly button hanging out at the bottom, which I think is funny. He comes with a ton of extra pieces. You could build 2 staffs with the pieces that he comes with. He also comes with this little printed tile as well. And like I said, he's not in a bag. So if you feel for his top hat, outside of a bag, you know it's him. If it's in a bag, it's Jimmy Cricket. So as we turn them around here, you can see that the printing does move along to the back, so it has that vest piece on the back. And I mean, I just think this figure is overall great, and it really captures the Disney character here. And I really like the skull and crossbones that they printed, and then also the feather on the hat as well. So they probably could have put like an actual feather spot maybe to put it in here instead of printing it on, but I'm not really going to complain too much because this is a really great figure. So moving on, we're going to see what else we have here. Oh, and it looks like we got another Stitch, so now we're on 2 duplicates. So grabbing another one. All right, and it looks like we have a different one. And next up we have this guy here, and he's pretty awesome. He's actually probably my favorite. He has a ton of printing on him. I mean, he has printing on the hat, on the very front, all the way down to his feet. One of the cool features that I like about this guy is when you spin him around to the side, he actually has some printing on his legs and then also his arms as well. And then when you spin him around, he has this really cool intricate design right there on the back. And then you can see he has some printing on the back as well with the belt. And then on the other side, he has that arm printing again. He also has a double-sided face, and then when you put the hat back on there, the hat has the hairpiece built right in, and then it also has this cool printing all the way around. I actually used the hat to find this character. He was pretty easy, so if you're feeling through the bags, it's real easy to actually pick up his hat and then also pick up the guitar as well. So when you feel around on the guitar, you can just pick out the shape, and he's pretty easy to find because he has these really 2 big pieces in there. But the guitar itself is pretty awesome, and it has a ton of print as well. And then it has that skeleton face on the front. I think this piece is great. And honestly, I didn't know if I was going to like this figure or not when I first opened up these sets. But this one is probably my favorite figure out of the bunch so far. The guitar fits perfectly in his hand, and this dude is awesome. So moving on to the next one here, we're going to grab this bag and see what we have inside. So as we cut this thing open, we're going to dump it out and see what character we have in here. Let's dump this thing out and see if we got another repeat. I really hope we didn't, and it looks like we did not. So right here we have Pinocchio, and Pinocchio is pretty cool. You can see he has this really neat nose piece that sticks out of the front, and that's probably a really good way to identify him. You can also identify him by the pointy hat as well, but my favorite thing to feel for was probably the nose on the head. He also comes with 2 heads inside the bag, so that makes him pretty easy to feel as well. So the other head actually has printing of like the goldfish on there. But moving on to the character himself, you can see he has some really great printing on the front. He has those dual molded arms. He has that integrated nose piece into the head, which I think is awesome because not a lot of characters have that, especially on a standard Lego head. and as we spin him around, you can see the printing continues onto the back. But other than that, I mean, he doesn't have too much going on. The hat and hair piece is really nice. He does have a little feather on the top of the hat as well, and you can see that it has the blue stripe. Now, overall, I think he's a great character, and Pinocchio is definitely a good addition to the Disney 100. Let me know what you guys think about this one. And moving on to the final packs, let's see if we can complete the collection here. I have 6 packs left, and I still need 6 characters, so let's see if the feel method actually worked out. Alright, so here we actually have the Evil Queen, and she was pretty easy to feel. She is in an interior bag as well, but she comes with one of these extra crowns, and then she also has this piece here, which is like the mirror on the wall, and that's actually what I felt for. The other thing that you could feel for too is this sloped piece that she has. You can't really feel the capes because they're actually not in a box, they're just loose in the bag, but you can also try to feel for the crown as well, but I did use this piece here. I also used one of the pictures of all the characters when I was sorting through the bags just to make sure that I could tell which character was in the bag while I was feeling around. But it's very good to identify her with the slope and then also this piece here. Now you have to keep in mind that a few of the other princesses also have the slope dress here, so you have to just be careful. But as you can see, she has some really nice printing on the front. She has these double capes that you put on, and then she doesn't have really much printing on the back, just a little line there, but she does come with this accessory here, and then she comes with an extra crown. So moving on to the next one here, let's see what we have in this bag, and we're going to open up this one and see if we get a different figure. All right. So we have another princess here, and as you can see, she has this really nice hair piece here and some really good printing on the front. And like I was saying, some of the princesses actually have slope pieces as well, so you have to be careful. She's not in an interior bag, so you can really feel for that slope. And then you can also feel for these tiaras because they are removable, and it does come with an extra as well. One of the other things that I felt for was actually this little companion that she has, and it's an owl. So that's a pretty easy piece to point out. So you can see how it has the tail section here. So it's a pretty large piece to feel for inside the bag. And if you can feel for the owl plus that slope piece, you'll definitely know it's her. One of the cool features about this figure too is she actually does have a double-sided face. So if you spin her around, you can see she has a face on the back here too with her eyes closed. And then the printing does move around to the back as well. She does have a little bit of arm printing on the one arm here. Pretty neat figure overall. Not my favorite, but I do think she's a pretty cool addition, and there's 18 to collect, so I needed to try to get all 18. So we're going to push her aside and see what else we have here. All right, and it looks like we have Mulan. So Mulan's pretty easy to feel for. So her hair is actually like rubbery. So as you can see, you can squeeze the hair piece and it'll kind of mush in. So you can feel for the rubbery hair. You can also feel for the swords as well. And then also she comes with this little accessory that you have to build. So you can feel for the round cylinder or maybe even the pyramid here to see if this is Mulan if you're looking for her. So one of the things that I used, I felt for the sword, and then I also felt for this hair piece here. And moving on to the figure itself, it's pretty cool because she has these dual molded legs. The printing on her chest just looks really great too. And then if you move around to the back, you can see she has a dual-sided head, and some of the printing moves around to the back as well. Overall, a pretty basic minifigure, I think, but Mulan was a pretty standard character at Disney. I mean, she played an important role, but she was not really a princess. She was more of a warrior. So she does come with 2 swords as well, so you can really feel for those. But we're going to move on to the next ones here, and we're actually filling it out, and we have not gotten too many repeats, just the robot and Stitch so far. So we're going to cut this one open and see what's inside. All right. So here we go with another one of these princess minifigures. Now this one is very similar to the last one that I showed you, the girl in the pink, and it has a slope piece here. She's also not in an interior bag, and then she has 2 of these tiaras as well. So one of the things that I felt for was actually this hair piece here because her hair is up in a bun instead of being down. And then I also felt for this frog here. So she comes with a little frog piece, and then also this plaque as well. It looks like it's a painting on the front here, and that's what I was looking for when I was searching for this piece. So this is a really good one to feel for as well. So taking a look at the minifigure, the printing on here is very nice, and the color is just awesome too. I really like how they did the dual molded arms, and they brought it back down to her hands too to make it look like she's wearing gloves. She has that really nice piece of jewelry around her neck here. And then if we take a look at the face, she has this happy face on the front. And when we remove the hair and spin it around, you could see that she has another face on the back as well. So she's happy either way. And then you can see the necklace makes its way around to the back, and then also some printing on the back as well, which really makes this figure pretty unique. I really actually like the color. I mean, it would be really cool if she glue in the dark. I really doubt she does here. No, she definitely does not glow in the dark, but it would be pretty cool if she did. So we're going to push her to the side here and grab one of the last two bags and see what we have inside. So this one is in an interior bag, and I'll tell you, feeling inside these bags when they have a double bag is pretty hard. So this could actually be a repeat figure. And it is not another repeat. This one here is Miss Cruella de Vil, and I really like the hairpiece here. This hairpiece is pretty cool. So these earrings are actually molded into the hairpiece here. And you can see that it has the two-color dual molded right down the middle. She does also come with this here, it's not really a cape, but I'm not sure what you would call it, maybe a scarf or something, but it has like almost a Dalmatian print to it. If you remove her hair, you can see that she has a double-sided face, and I think the printing on both sides is really great. So this one, she's smiling, but she's still probably going to look really evil. And then you have the grumpy Cruella look right on the front, and that's the one that I'm going to display. As we move on to the figure, you can see she has some really nice printing all the way around here on the front. And then if we move around to the back, she has some printing as well. Now, she does come with an accessory, so she was a little bit actually hard to feel for because most of her is inside the bag. So I did kind of feel for this hair piece, and then I also felt for this little Dalmatian that she comes with. So this is a really good piece to feel for. And you can really tell because it's hollow on the bottom, so you can get like the tip of your thumb in there to be able to feel around, and then you can also feel the two ears as well on the dog. So that's how I got Cruella here, but like I said, she is also in one of those interior bags as well. So on this one, there was a lot of the figures that ended up in those interior bags, and it makes it pretty difficult to feel, but if you know what pieces are in there, you'll be able to find them as long as you spend some time doing it. So moving on to the last figure here, and the only one that we're missing is Pocahontas. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to be Pocahontas or not. I kind of want to move everything down because I don't want to end up cutting, like a cape or one of those scarves if it is not that character. So let's see what's going on inside of here, and we'll see if my, feel guide actually worked out. I did get a couple duplicates, but let's see what we have here. All right, and this is pretty exciting. We did get Pocahontas, and this is the last one that I needed to get to complete all 18 of the minifigs. So let's take a look and see what the minifigure is like itself, and then we'll also take a look and see what you could feel for inside the bag. So this is the minifigure here, and this is Pocahontas. Her hair piece is awesome. It's pretty much flowing like it's in the wind. She has some really great printing on the front. She also comes with like these compasses and stuff. She has dual molded legs with a ton of printing, and she has some tribal printing on her arm. And then if we move around to the back and we remove her hair, you can see she has a dual-sided face as well with some printing on the back. A couple of the things that I felt for, I actually felt for this hairpiece. So this hairpiece is very unique. As you can see, it has like this curve in there. So you can really feel for that curve and the flat part of the hair here. And that's what I looked for. And then also to confirm, I also felt for one of these leaves. So she does come with 3 of the leaves in the pack down here. And then she also comes with 2 of those compasses. But these are the 2 things that you're going to want to feel for to make sure that you can confirm that it is Pocahontas. Now, it looks like we did get all 18 figures, and I did get 2 duplicates. But I will tell you that the duplicates that I got were duplicates that I actually wanted. So I wanted to get 2 of Stitch because I think he's a really cool character. And then also one of like the robots. I'm not sure what his name is. But I wanted 2 of him as well because I thought he was pretty cool. Now here you have it, guys. This is all 18 of the minifigures from the Disney 100 collection. If you guys felt that this field guide was helpful and it's going to help you guys pick up your figures if you're interested in them, leave it a thumbs up. And if this is the first time ever visiting this channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. I also make other LEGO content like builds. I do reviews on sets. So if you'd like, check out some more of the videos on the channel. I'll leave a link in the description below to the other Series 24, so you can watch that video as well if you're still hunting for those. I hope to see you guys next week. Let's start building.